Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Good morning, Debo. Good morning, Carly. Carly wearing glasses today. Clark Kent. All right. Okay. All right. I never wore glasses. I should have been wearing glasses, but now that I wear glasses, I understand the importance of being able to see and just how important that is. And so again, everyone, welcome to the program. Free Flow Friday. Free Flow Friday. And we'll join the studio, of course, by Devon Jones, DJ the Protege.
Mike Policy, is it
good on Mike Policy, and
okay,
then
we're good on
hopefully
Y'all better stop playing with me.
hopefully be joined by Mr. Craig Stingley's First Friday. I don't know why I thought last Friday was First Friday.
Wow,
It was a long month.
Yeah, so
well, you know, the
and we haven't really
holidays,
been here on
everybody
Friday for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, for
Fridays.
me, 3.
Wow.
3, that's right. Been 3 for you.
Yeah.
So
That's right. We had our technical difficulties with
Last week.
last week,
where we were off the air for that period of time.
then we had the funeral.
Yeah. And then Keon was the week prior to that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So we back on
So you were
Fridays.
out the week prior to that as well, Keon?
Mhm.
I mean, DJ.
Yeah.
What were you up to, man? You care to disclose that?
Work.
You sure? Or were you just playing hooky?
No, I had to work.
You got another job?
Good morning, everybody.
Why you ignore me, man?
Weren't everyone. So again, you charge us.
No, I'm good.
So welcome. Phone lines open 414-444-5250. Again, it's Friday. Hey, best time of the year, man. Football season started last night.
Tonight.
Oh my God! You watched the game last
I
night?
did.
Oh, do you see it?
You see that?
I
just
left
that
at the end.
toe. Just that
I
toe.
left and missed the ending.
Oh my God!
That toe.
That toe, man. They say it's a game of inches.
Yeah, because if he wore 8.5, it would have been a touchdown.
It would have been all right, like Kevin Durant, right?
Right,
If he would have
right.
wore 12, that would have been
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
But those 16 18s, that
Yeah.
dude, that was crazy, man. And they were gonna go for 2.
Yeah.
Baltimore was gonna go for 2.
Mhm.
So that was interesting. And
Good game, man. It was a good game.
I'm gonna tell you something. I know a lot of people are Lamar Jackson fans. That brother he got a great arm, but he is
his
accurate,
accuracy.
man.
Yeah.
His accuracy. We're not talking about like some of these Aaron Rodgers throws. We talk about like a basic throw. He had one where the guy, it was behind him.
That's
Dude.
every quarterback, man.
Huh?
That's every quarterback.
No.
No.
Who better than Lamar?
I'm not saying better. I'm saying here's the problem I have with his game, that he is not an accurate thrower. I mean, it's just I'm talking like basic.
He completed
kinda,
about 60% of his
I
passes.
still think
with
I
short ones.
still think he has yet to stop looking to run first. He has improved.
well, because that
But
line.
I saw it last night again.
Well, that
where
line, he
was,
had no choice.
Well, last year he wasn't running as much.
Yeah, he had a better line last year.
No,
Stingley.
it's just that he
'Cause it's-
wanted to prove that he could be a passer.
he can pass from the pocket.
but
Yeah,
that
and
line
so-
was pretty awful.
But this year he lost weight so that he could just get back to just playing his game.
Okay, well, you got to hit wide open receivers, man. I mean,
he hit wide open receivers.
he
got
that
a few
one throw.
touchdowns.
He did have a few touchdowns, but he missed the touchdown right before the guy ended up making likely.
Right.
But he missed that dude.
He was open. Yeah.
That dude was wide open, and he just sailed that one, man. It was just like, and there was a couple of throws that he had. It was either behind the receivers. I think Debo is right. I think he thinks run first, and
he out of that.
well,
No,
Since
not.
his
No,
rookie
he's not.
season
No,
when he
he's
got
not.
hurt,
No, he's not.
he out of that.
mentality is still there, man. I mean, I think
And it's not a
yesterday-
bad thing, but I think you have to go through your progressions.
Right.
Yesterday he made multiple throws out of the pocket.
he did.
In the past, he would have just ran. So he's not thinking run first.
No.
He got a running back now, though. Yeah.
You want to pull that mic to you, sir? You acting like a rookie now, like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing in here.
What's up,
Act like
Craig?
I got some training, huh?
That's
Craig
right.
Stingley. What were you saying, man? No, Craig.
Now, you said he got a running back now.
Oh yeah,
Henry.
yeah. What's his name again?
Henry.
Yeah. So why not pass the ball off? I mean, hand it off and let him run.
I mean, the offensive line struggled yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Hmm.
And that one dude, I guess now you get a warning for lining up in the backfield. And 79, that dude was in the back between him and then Taylor, 74 for the Chiefs. Because that dude was the most penalized
Last year, wasn't
last year, most
Yeah,
penalized
he
player
started
in the
out
league.
the year, right?
He started off. I think he
right
caught
on
two.
pace.
I
Yep.
thought he caught two. So it was interesting. But no, I just think that if he, and maybe it'll come with time, but that accuracy, and he got a strong arm. It's not like he don't have a strong arm. I mean, he got an incredibly strong arm, man. But he be selling the ball behind
It
him.
ain't. It's only maybe one quarterback I would take over Lamar,
Who's that?
the dude who he played yesterday.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Outside of that, there's nobody else.
But you
that I
know,
would
the
pick
rap
over him.
on him is he's interception prone.
Right.
He throws. I'm talking like
When the Packers played them last year, I said he's gonna throw us one. We
Yep.
just gotta catch it.
Yep.
And he did.
he did, man.
He gon' because he got
Well, it was the same.
he got a,
knock
like
that
a-
you would
what-
have
what is that
against
called,
an
like
Aaron
a
Rodgers. Aaron was a
gunslinger?
gunslinger.
Yeah, but
Nah,
Aaron
Rodgers
didn't throw.
wasn't
He didn't throw
no
interceptions.
Not Aaron. I'm talking Brett
You throw-
Favre.
Brett
Brett,
Favre.
was
Now, he
definitely
did.
gonna give you one.
Yeah. Oh, he gonna give you more than one.
No, yeah, he gonna give.
He set the record for most interceptions by a
Yes, it's true,
quarterback.
Still- I
but
think
that was over a period of time too.
It's either him or Eli. Who got the record? Either him or Eli.
He does.
He
does.
still got the record
He
after
still
all
does.
them interceptions Eli
Yeah,
threw.
Eli was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude.
He was
you
no
know,
Peyton Manning.
Right. But he got
He was his brother though.
I just man that, and
He had a
I
better
think we
win
got
percentage
spoiled
in,
because
Super
you know
Bowls
we had one of the best quarterbacks in football, and the one
until
thing
the
about
playoffs.
Aaron, well, okay, we got that, but
Until when?
Until the playoffs.
Oh,
You was gonna say, yeah, he don't throw interceptions, yeah. Until the
don't.
playoffs
He don't.
came.
it's cold by then.
Until no, that don't matter. He would
Cold
choke.
by then.
He would choke.
He was a California
He
kid.
would choke.
Can't bring him into this stuff, man.
he has played in some cold games though. Remember the game he came back after he broke his collarbone at the beginning of the
That's
season,
one of my
came
favorite
back?
Packer games.
Dude, it was cold.
My favorite was when his father died.
Oh,
I'm
no, that's
talking-
Brett Favre.
I'm talking Brett. I don't know where y'all at. Y'all
But,
back to Aaron.
Rodgers.
Mhm.
But he played that game.
Both
And I'm
of
gonna
them
tell you
lost
how
that
cold
game.
that game was. There was empty seats at Lambeau. You never see empty seats at
Yeah.
Lambeau. That's how cold it was
Man, the
that day.
very first
No,
and
no,
only
they
time I
played
went
that
to
game in
Lambeau.
Chicago.
Have you ever been to
They
Lambeau?
played in Lambeau.
No, they played that game
You
in
have?
Chicago.
No.
They played in Lambeau. The year that he broke his collarbone and came back, they played that game.
Are you talking about he came back the same game, or you talking about at the end of the season?
He came back at the end of the season. to play.
No, that was in Chicago.
No, it was in Green Bay.
Look it up, guys.
It was
Look
in, it was
up.
in Chicago.
Can
man.
we
It
all just
was
get along?
cold. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it was cold because it was in Chicago.
It was cold because it was
'Cause
in
he
Green
threw
Bay.
He threw it to Randall Cobb. I'm telling you.
Not,
It was
not
in
that
Chicago.
game. Not that game. No, he came back. He had been hurt most of the season. He came back
Well,
in the
you know,
game.
you
He
got
came
fact
back.
check right at your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
He came.
Pull
he
it
came
up,
back.
DJ.
I'll
Pull it up,
fact
DJ.
check it out. I'm right.
I
Fact
remember
check
the
right
game
there.
because it was in Lambeau, and
The-
you saw
so
empty
the-
seats in
the-
Lambeau.
The
Something
game that
never
you're
see.
talking about where he got injured and came back.
No, that's
that
not the
was
game
the-
I'm talking about.
Well, then the end of the
He had
season.
missed most of the season,
Yeah, that
and he
that
came
was in
back,
Chicago.
and they played in Green Bay.
That was in
It was
Chicago.
one of the coldest days ever.
That wasn't I still own y'all game, was it?
Mm-mm.
No.
He threw the game winner was to Randall Cobb. He was wide open.
No, the Packers lost that game. He came back. The game I'm talking about in Green Bay, they lost. They lost. They didn't win that game. They
I
did
don't-
beat Chicago, but
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
win this game.
He
Who
wouldn't.
we-
He wouldn't have
The
came back.
collarbone was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was all because he could never be healthy for a whole season either. But I don't know what game he's talking about now. So he's talking about Packers
He
lost.
got more Super Bowls than you.
So
Me too.
Me
I mean,
too.
he's supposed to. I'm not an athlete, but he let us
Right,
down many
You're a
years,
former
man.
athlete.
Yeah, he let us down many years though. Like I used to be on his
Not like Brett
on his
Favre.
side,
Not
but
like Brett Favre.
with number 4, at least he went to the Super Bowl twice,
Yeah, and what happened with that second?
and he
and he
played
quit.
every game.
And he quit in that second Super Bowl against Denver. He
Yeah, they
quit.
ran all over those
They-
guys,
I mean,
though.
it wasn't-
They run game.
And I'm not even going to talk about
Beat us that
2008
game.
when who came to town? The
And
Giants.
Terrell
came?
Davis ran all over us, wasn't
Oh
he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the game that he had the he had the concussion or something. And there was something going on with him, and they used him as a decoy. Was that against the Packers in the Super Bowl?
I know something went on with him, and
Either he was having
Might have
something.
been them painkillers.
Oh, it was something that happened. But
I mean, one thing we can say is he played every game.
Bar.
yeah, he did.
And with him as
monkey.
with him, yeah, probably. But even after that, he because remember they had to like,
and now he robbing poor
they had to
folks
put
in
him into
Mississippi.
therapy for
Taking
them
the welfare checks
taking
from
all of
the
those
Mississippi
those
Nights.
pills.
That's terrible, man. All that money that man made, and he down there
I have never.
Taking
He should
money
be.
from
He should be in
Mississippi.
jail.
I have never been a fan of Brett Favre.
taking the welfare money
He
to
should be
make
in
a
jail.
speech.
Yeah, and then he got a pass with his whole drug
volleyball.
thing. It was like,
pit.
oh, this is an opportunity for him to get in.
He was in therapy and all of that.
I mean, other dudes looking at suspensions.
Yep. But he was just coming off of winning MVPs.
Yeah, well, he was a golden child
man.
at that point in time, man.
Man, you're
John
right.
Madden loved him.
Because they,
And
you know,
it
they
goes-
was about how he played through pain. Well, they quickly discovered that he was high.
That most players are shot up.
Same with
Yeah,
Aaron
but I'm
Rodgers,
saying- but you-
licking them
dude,
toes.
Oh,
That was off season. He wasn't told during the season. That was off
That's
season.
what they
going
say.
hanging out in the dark.
That's what they say.
Going in the
He
dark.
would have found. He would have got
Right.
that expanded level of
That is what they
consciousness.
say.
But no, man, and we had a chance. Michelle and I had a chance to talk to Antonio Freeman last year,
I recall. Yeah, we were.
and
at,
we were talking. Yeah,
business
and we were
luncheon.
talking about that game, right? Because he
Which one?
made some catches when his father died.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
And
game.
that's the game that
he was
399
unconscious that
yards
game. He
that
was
night.
totally unconscious that night.
right, and the
And
receivers
I
came
think
through.
I was gonna say I think the guys decided that they
Yeah.
wanted to play for him that
That's
night.
what that's
They really
what
wanted to come through
Antonio
for
was saying, that they came through for him. But hey, man, I can tell you in the 4th and 26 game against Philly, okay, bad enough that they call the defense for 4th and 27, and we get through that little piece. But then right after that, Brett Favre threw an interception. They came down. I think they kicked the game-winning field goal. So no, man, this dude is no hero to me. 2008, it was cold against the Giants. He quit.
But
He quit.
What was the game where they the failed Mary, if you will?
Oh, that was during the Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm. That was against Seattle.
That was when the referees were on strike.
yeah.
They got back that next Sunday.
I would
Oh, they
say
was
just
back
as
that
many
next Sunday.
heartbreaks as you say for number 4. Number 12 got some too.
12 played in the Seattle. He played in the Seattle debacle. It wasn't really his fault, but he played in that game.
If you really,
Had a great game.
obviously they both all-time greats, and then you're gonna be hypercritical of playoff success. But if you want to look at the playoff success or lack thereof of Rodgers, you could be extremely critical of him, because outside of that Super Bowl win, he has a losing record in the playoffs. We consistently got shellacked in the championship games, and on top of that, one of the biggest things that Rodgers didn't do was throw interceptions. But for whatever reason, in the playoffs, he would throw interceptions. He would look crazier than Peyton Manning would.
Because
Remember
now he's at a
Peyton
point-
Manning was like
He's at a point of
was like
desperation.
a whole nother player in the regular season. And once the playoffs came, Peyton Manning would choke too. But Rodgers would be on a whole nother level.
Wait, what is this choke? It is not choking. You playing against a team.
No,
Well, hold on, DJ. You playing against a team that is equally as talented as you, and they can play better than you. This idea of people choking because they lost.
I call
No,
it
you just got beat by a better
any
team.
given Sunday.
no. If you play bad,
You
like,
choke.
you choked.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
There could be
If you
some
play
factors in why
bad,
you
Your
playing
performance
badly.
ain't up to par.
If you
the way
play
you're
to
playing
the-
There
all
could be some
year.
other
But no,
factors,
if
not
play
that
to
you
the
choke.
best of
Choke
your
means that
ability
you
I'm not-
scared.
so
Well,
I'm not a
that's what
That's
he's
all
saying.
you got.
so
He
I'm
said
not
he
a
didn't
fan.
play up to the
So
best
I'm
of
not a
his
fan of Josh
But
Allen.
it was
I
the
think
best
he's
he could do
overrated.
that day.
Right.
So that don't mean you choke. You just
No, you
didn't have
choke.
it today.
You choke. If
You don't ever have an off day.
yeah,
So
And
when
you
you
choke.
look at
That's
the
not
game,
called choking.
what was it? A playoff game between
Man, you gave your
the
best.
Chiefs and the Bills.
I was just about to bring that up.
And they went back and forth to the very last. Just like the game, I didn't see the game last night, but apparently
Nobody would say Josh Allen choked that game.
Right.
You want to know why? because he performed and he just came up short.
Every time they got the ball.
But that's Aaron Rodgers.
But
no,
then
that's
still
not
a
Aaron
loss.
Rodgers. What are you
It's still
talking
a L.
about?
Yeah.
It's still a L.
But we're
Because they got
talking
beat
about
by a better
proper
team.
context.
Not because he didn't perform.
We're talking about proper context, and even then, you can't
I
even
would-
say
I
that
agree
it was
with
a
you.
better team because the Bills were scoring just as many points as the Chiefs. Is just that they didn't get the ball
the
in
last
overtime.
possession. Yeah.
They end up
They
changing the
perform,
rules based
the
on
last
that game.
or
possession.
even look at Durant. Remember when Durant lost in Game 7? Nobody would say that Durant choked.
He dropped 48 points. How could you call that a choke?
He performed.
Right?
He performed.
But
Still
Spite of
lost.
PJ Tucker.
That's the criteria that
Right,
he
but
put
what
on
I'm
it,
saying
though.
is-
But
that you
no,
could
but
have-
what I'm saying is when they lost to Boston and they got swept, they would always say he choked in that series because he didn't
I think
perform.
that's an unfair characteristic.
That's not.
It is. When you say that people lose the game, they choke. They didn't choke. You miss a shot. You can put up. Hold on. Let me give you an example.
That's not even the same thing that we're
yes,
talking
it is,
about.
DJ. Did Larry Bird choke when they played LA? LA goes up on the baby hook, and now there's time left on the clock, and he shoots the 3-pointer. He missed it. He choked. No, he missed a shot. That's Larry Bird.
So
I would say the person chokes because they
that's
threw
not
an
what I'm saying.
interception
That's
or
not what
That's
he's
not
saying.
what
or
I'm
you
saying.
fumble.
Man. You're-
You got to
You
look
have,
at
That's
you have
not
to
what
take
I'm
it in
saying.
the context of what he's saying. He's
So are
saying
you
if they
saying because he
performed
doesn't
and they
perform
lost,
well in a big game, he
That's-
choked?
Yes, because any other time it
it
wasn't a
could
big
be other
game.
factors.
We're not trying
It
to
could be
hear that,
injury.
man.
You have to hear
No,
it.
Uh,
no, because
usually if
you're-
the pressure's on when you're
Right.
going to win it
Come on,
all,
man.
Oh man, that
And if you
that
don't
is
show
that is-
up,
that is
man.
a
if
standard.
you don't
even-
show up the way you
that's a
normally
standard that
would,
even Michael Jordan.
so
did.
we're gonna look
choke.
at Alex Rodriguez, right? Alex
agree
Rodriguez is
with
one of the
A-Rod.
greatest baseball players of all time.
Mhm.
In the regular season, 40, 30, 50 home runs, 100 plus RBIs. In the playoffs, he was a strikeout artist. That's choking.
Barry Bonds.
That's
That-
choking.
Barry Bonds.
That don't mean you're choking.
Barry
That
Bonds
just means
played well in the
No,
somebody-
Barry
playoffs.
Bonds.
No,
No, when he was in
Barry
San
Bonds- Barry
Francisco.
Bonds-
No,
Barry
no.
Bonds-
So the other team doesn't get credit for studying film
And playing a better game.
and figuring out what
That is
okay,
not-
he can't hit that far
I'm
away.
not-
He like it
So
inside.
I am not,
he like it low.
not giving credit to the other team. That is not what
You
I'm
have
doing.
to.
Why not?
They
Y'all not
in the
even listening
game.
to what I just said.
But they in the game.
but
You're
the,
not
pi-
even
the pitcher
no,
did
hold on,
his
Craig.
job.
That's all I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is I am not,
But a hitter still
not
can get
giving
a
credit
good
to the
pitcher
other team.
sometime.
You're
Right,
not
if I don't
listening.
give you what you
So
can
if you
hit,
go 0 for 6
if I can't give you,
You're
if
not
the-
even listening to what I said.
in the World Series, in the final game,
You're
See-
not even
see,
listening.
So
We are listening.
No,
did he
you're
get
not.
on? Did he
We're
get
not
on base?
agreeing.
No, because I just
Did he get
said
on
that
base?
I'm not
Did he walk
giving
him?
credit.
Did he?
If the other team played
a
well,
base
they
hit?
played well.
so
But if
so-
that other
so next
dude
time he
or
come
team plays
for
bad, they still
a
play
contract
bad, and that's a
negotiation,
choke artist.
No, it's not a choke.
and he say to you as
It's
the
not a choke.
owner,
We
Yes,
got
that
two
is,
different
man.
conversations going. I know the listeners are going, what the hell is
I
going
know
on there?
it's Friday.
Me and you talking, they talking.
Because
Welcome to the barbershop.
because you trying to say that I'm not giving credit to the other
No,
team.
man, I'm trying to tell you, man. No.
Dude, I'm gonna get it off the chair, man. Take this off me, man.
Rogers choking in the playoffs, man. That's
Rogers.
Rogers choking.
So what did he choke when he won the Super
so,
Bowl?
so let me ask a question.
He,
Have
he
you ever
was choking in
Did he
that-
choke when he won the Super Bowl? That's
who, Rogers?
So you're talking about a game where he played
Well, he
well.
performed.
How is that the same thing from not
Mhm.
performing, man?
what
You're
I'm
not-
saying is
no,
that there
you're
could be
not
factors.
listening.
I am listening.
Was he hurt?
Was his left tackle out?
Did he play well in the NFC Championship game?
Was his left tackle all right?
Was his left tackle? Was
In or injured? Out?
Yeah, yeah.
Did the defense score?
Hey,
Did
you know,
he
next
play
man.
well in the NFC
Yeah, but
Championship
There's a reason
game?
why he's the next man. That's all. I hate to hear that in sports.
And
The answer is no.
There's
The answer is
no.
no. He didn't.
What was the
And-
boy?
There's a reason
what was
why
the boy?
Keith is on the
That's
bench.
exactly
Hey,
his
Keith.
point. 'Cause
Keith,
he's
what was the
saying
boy that
when
ran back
Aaron
two-
Rodgers,
2 punt returns. What was that boy name? The year we won?
Howard.
Desmond Howard.
Desmond Howard.
Did
He was out the league the next year.
them
talking about-
14? Those 12 points don't count
I'm not talking about.
towards the win?
So again, you're talking
And
about.
not a very
You're
good.
talking about the overall result, and I'm just talking about a specific performance of a specific individual. You could win the game and be bad. That has
You
happened.
can win the game and choke.
Giannis choked some free throws and the Bucks still
But he
won.
choked.
But he ain't never been a
But he
great
didn't
free throw
choke.
shooter
It
anyway.
don't matter. He's made because in game 6 he went 17 for 19. So it showed that he could do it.
I
Now,
think you're making an excellent point.
if you say Jay Cutler, I'm on board with that.
I'm talking about that
I'm on
same
board, but
year that they won the
We
championship.
can't have
NFC
a
championship
You don't
game.
like Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
No, that's not
Riding with
no.
you, then you gonna say, well, if it was Jay
Right.
Cutler, yeah, he choked.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Jay was now. If you talk about a choker, that's Jay Cutler. Every time the Packers played the Bears, we never worried about losing that game. You know why? Because Jay Cutler
was
is going to throw an interception.
But we're talking about a player who's not in the same class as number 4 and number 12.
making
We're only talking about the
50 million
all-time
a year.
greats.
Okay. Now I want to get back to you, Craig. Next man up.
Yeah.
There's a
Next man
reason.
up.
Now, what if your next man is Finassus?
Oops.
He got to perform.
He
He in
ain't
the
even-
league.
Is he going to be able
No,
to
he
perform?
ain't.
There you go.
That's
That's
and
like
then that
Chris
goes
paid
to the
$3 million
general
a year.
manager.
Right.
You can't
That
bring
goes
him
to the
up
general
because he don't
manager.
even play. We harping on people that don't even play.
I told
now.
somebody, you know something wrong if you come to a Bucks game in the first
Hey.
quarter and I'm in the game. Who's hurt? Who's hurt that I
He don't
played in
even
the
play.
first
We're
quarter?
not worried about
And
him.
And he started. He started, but the whole team hurt. How he get out there? Yeah.
Just throw the white flag in.
He don't play. We not worried about the masses.
By law, we got to play the game, but we know what's going to happen. You listen to Community Voice. No passes given.
That's not a
It's
good
funny.
example, though.
That is a good
That is
example.
not a
You
good
say next
example.
man up.
That's not-
What if he's the
Not
next
to
man?
Nassas. No, that's not a good example.
He don't even play in the regular season, man. He's not gonna be in the
Exactly.
playoffs.
Exactly.
When he got down there,
He
yeah,
won't
we
be the
really
next
in
man up
trouble.
until they
No.
all hurt.
I saw something where he requested a trade.
I ain't see nothing like that.
I did. I did. It said Tanasis requested to
That's
be
wrong.
traded.
He can't even request Gatorade. How he gonna request a trade? Like, come on, man.
Oh, can you get a towel when he come out? He can't even reach out the
I'm
towel.
just saying anything, man. He ain't requested no trade.
Brother couldn't make the Olympic team
He got hurt.
in Greece.
He
No.
got hurt. He was on the team. He got hurt. No fairness for that.
Y'all
He
got
tore his
hurt.
Achilles.
He made the team.
He was jumping around
He was-
cheering.
Yeah, but he got hurt. He played in a couple of qualifiers.
What, he tore up his Achilles?
Yeah.
That's
Go
too bad.
Yeah, you listen to
Bad breaks. And these are the breaks.
the Black Brothers out to vote, and we'll talk about them, give you the times of all the events. We'll be right back. conversation. So tell us, just so people don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about you and some of the work that we've seen you in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, my name is Erica Woods. Currently, I'm on a wonderful show called Raising Canaan, and I do apologize, Mr. Parris. I understand you're a man of the church as well. It is a rather violent show, but it's very good.
Man, I was in the power. Don't get that twisted. No problem here.
Absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely, my pastor actually enjoys it as well.
Is that right?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a really good show. It's one of the Power franchises, and I play a character named Pop, and she's kind of the head of this criminal organization, but she's also a loving wife to the wonderful Wendell Pierce, who plays my husband. And she's just a jack of all trades. And before that, I've been on FBI and Blue Bloods, and I had a pretty successful modeling career as well.
What is that like working with your husband?
Well, he plays my husband, but we actually, are close in real life, and it's actually wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good because, you have chemistry with someone, and then he's just a phenomenal actor as well. So that's wonderful.
Oh, well, he is a phenomenal actor. There's no question about that. But, it's I had some cousins who owned a very famous restaurant here, and they went to work every day. And I was like, what is that like to have to go? I shouldn't say have to, but you go to work every day with your spouse, right? Then, because stuff at home sometimes, it can.
Oh no, it's actually the opposite. It's so funny. We met at work. So,
okay.
It's in my parents. I actually grew up in the restaurant business, which is so funny you said that. It actually, you become your best friends, so you're more focused on that. So there's a goal there. You have a lot in common. So I think it can be wonderful.
What made you? I know I think your background. Well, first of all, let's do that. We got to shout out Howard. You want to do that? Get that out the way.
I got to give a couple shout.
There you go. Let's get that out the way.
We got to give my chapter Sora Kamala. I mean, can you believe it? It's just wonderful. I went to Howard. And I studied journalism and minored in theater and just fell in love with it. I had a wonderful, wonderful professor named Al Freeman Jr. He's a wonderful actor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as they say,
I got to do some. I got to do some. What soap opera did Al Freeman Jr. start off in? That was.
Let's see, Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. Okay.
He's just my favorite professor, one of my favorite actors, and he was wonderful. I want to say it's Days of Our Lives or As the World Turns. I'm almost positive Days of Our Lives.
But he was great as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I think he was Malcolm X. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And Wendell was in that film. What a small world, right?
Is that right?
Yeah, the hand in my pocket when they went to shoot him.
That's right, and I think it was Giancarlo Esposito.
100%.
Yeah,
one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, we were laughing about your husband when he was, we going to the Million Man March and he got kicked off the bus. So.
I find
everybody got to the Million Man March but him and Ozzie Davis, who died unfortunately, but he got kicked off the bus.
Wonderful acting, because that is so far from him and his political views. I just think it's hilarious.
So what was we don't we do. We understand that Howard obviously is Howard University, but when you think about their fine arts department and the people who've come through that, what is that? Is that a legacy kind of experience when the folks who've come through their fine arts department?
It's surreal. I mean, my first day, you go to an orientation and they seat you alphabetically. So they were like, Mr. Marlon Wayans, Miss Erica Wood. I'm like, what? Off the bat, instant friends. And then I have class with Taraji. It's just a greatness, and you're connected by this common thread that still carries over today. I mean, there hasn't been anywhere in the world that I have been that I can't say Howard or HU and get a plate of barbecue chicken or get, a ride if I need.
Right?
It is, and I'm telling you, it is priceless. It's priceless.
My sister is a proud alum of Howard University. As a matter of fact, she's going for homecoming this year. Yeah, so it's the imprint that it's had on us, just historically what it is, and that gets us to the second shout out. I know now I'm looking. There's an age difference between you and Vice President Harris, but it does. Let me ask this question because I remember asking this question in 2016, and this in the heat of that election, I asked primarily women, is it a big deal that a woman, you could have your first woman elected as president? And I remember asking that question in 2016. So I'm going to ask that question to you in 2024. Is it a big deal that we're looking at possibly electing our first female president?
I think it's a huge deal. I think if we don't, we could face a handmaid's tale situation. I think it's so ironic she's running against someone like Trump that wants to take away all of our rights as women. And I just think it's extremely important. I think it's history in the making. We've had an African American who was the most qualified, and now we're going to have another African American, but she's a woman, who is the most qualified.
What this started with now the chicks, with the Dixie Chicks, where just shut up and sing. It happened with LeBron James, just shut up and dribble when people took political positions, and you kind of hear this sometimes when it comes to people like you and your husband, where they said just shut up and act. How do you respond to that? Just turn down the volume, because we're not going to. We have a responsibility. I would tell those people to study, to really research Donald Trump's campaign. I can say that if I met Mr. Trump, I would never shake his hand, but that's because I know the policies, I know everything he's offering. I've really read what's at stake here. And I think if most people get past, oh, she's black, oh, she's a woman, oh, I just don't like her, and really look at what's at stake and the policies, they would come to their own conclusion about just how wrong he is for this position and how right Sora Kamala is. What inspired you? I mean, you could speak out and talk about Donald Trump, but it's a step further. So what inspired you to want to work in the campaign or work with the campaign in the capacity that you're working with the campaign with?
I hate to say that it's kind of a selfish thing, but sometimes you never know things until they hit you. Like I lost my mother last year, and I was her caregiver for 17 years. She just had declining health, and not being able to afford medication, not having things in place for seniors, it just started to really hit me, and it affected all of her friends, and I really wanted it. That really tugged at my heartstrings and made me want to get involved with the campaign. I always was before, but now it's personal. But like I said, sometimes you don't want to take action until it bites you in the butt, and it bit me in the butt caring for my elder parent and watching that whole process.
So it was your lived experience.
And COVID. Yeah, it was very hard, and pardon me. And then also COVID killed a lot of my friends and neighbors here, and just watching how he handled that and how Biden handled it, and I got personally invested in. I said I'll do anything I can to keep that man out of office. And of course, January 6th.
Yeah, but it's interesting. had an opportunity. Well, I've had several conversations with former Attorney General Eric Holder, and one time he was supposed to. He came into the studio. I was telling my wife at home. I said, I think I'm gonna get a chance to talk to Eric Holder, and she was losing her mind. Right? I don't know how to react to that. So I'm about, I would say I'm a good 15 minutes from my house to the radio station. And so I called her back and said, no, actually, he's going to be here. I'm going to interview him in the studio. I don't know how my wife got here in 8 minutes. My wife was here 8 minutes, but here's the part of that story. She's here 8 minutes, but she's wearing a pink pussy cap. Remember that? And when you were talking about January 6th, we need to talk about January 21st or 22nd, the day after he was inaugurated, and 1 million women hit the streets.
Oh, yes, 100%. That is just, I'm sorry, just the visuals for me. My mother loved Eric Holder, so I'm laughing.
When you're a dude, you be kind of going like, wait a minute, you don't make a fuss over me like that, but she was here literally in 7 minutes. I'm looking up and I'm seeing the car because we can see the street. I'm going, how did she get here? And she was dressed.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a picture of him and her in her pussy cap. And that first thing he commented on. So after that, it was just like, but I mean, I don't understand. Here's something that's really fascinating. They talk about, and the woman who organized the white women for Kamala Harris, she said that it has been women and particularly white women, have voted overwhelmingly Republican, right? Yet the things that you cited, and one of the things you didn't, like a woman's control over her body and to choose how she, manages her own body is an issue. I guess the question I had was, how could they vote against their own self-interest?
It's funny you say that. So I've had so many friends, by the way. So, I am from Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Heavily Republican where I'm from. And my high school was predominantly white. And so a lot of the, girls I kept in touch with and things like that, they are very Bible-based, the Bible Belt. Mm-hmm. So although they want this freedom, it's so based in the Bible that they're like, we have to go with Trump. This is what God wants. So it becomes that an issue of religion. And it's very dangerous because a lot of those women that I have talked to, I mean, these are some women that I know have, had to face decisions with their own body, and so it's just a very dangerous thing, it's just a very dangerous thing. But I think a lot of that does boil down to religion, upbringing, and it's just drilled in you, and ignorance.
Well, I know there is a pastor, a female pastor of AME Church here, our oldest church in the city, and she pointed out that her grandmother would not read anything Paul wrote because of how she felt Paul depicted the role of women. And that is a dynamic, and I think certainly in the 21st century, that is a dynamic, even in my own home. To hear how my wife refers to it, and you're right, the impact that religion has on how we view the world. But I would hope that people could begin to see, but what's in my self-interest? I don't think that God would want you, I don't think she would want you to operate against your own self-interest, especially when you're not hurting other people, that it does, because if you look at the Catholic Church, in their edicts on contraceptives, for example, where you find out that 80% of Catholic women use contraceptives.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I grew up with a lot of Catholics. Yeah. And they want to ban contraceptives. I just think it's very hypocritical. And again, religion-based. And also I do believe there's a race element to it. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like they said, I've heard a couple friends that I've had to take off Facebook, like, we can't even pronounce her name. I'm like, you can't? And it's slander, and it's, it's petty. And, I do think a lot of it is racially based. Her husband's Jewish. It's a lot. But with all of that, I still think we are going to win. We have the lowest Black unemployment rate on record. Everyone I know in my family had a job, and I'm very excited about that. Black wealth is up. We just have the narrowest racial wealth gap in 20 years. And for me, the lowest prescription drug prices and insulin, that's huge.
Oh, that's real talk, because I have to go and get my mom's prescriptions. And I know what we were paying for insulin prior to. That's just our out of pocket, and what we're paying now. Thanks to that. But I think it. Well, this maybe gets us to what's going to be happening on the weekend here in Milwaukee. Have you ever been to Milwaukee?
Oh, my claim to fame, and I'm so glad you brought that up. So I was conceived in Milwaukee. My parents used to tell me that all the time. My dad used to work at Lever Brothers back in the day. I've never been there, but I was conceived there.
Well, then you have been here.
Yes, I was. So I'm excited to see it.
Let me see where I was conceived. Most of us go visit the place we were born. I don't know how many of us go visit the place we were conceived. Wow. So this is where I was conceived, right here.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
There, yes, sir. Wow. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I really wish I knew the part that they lived in, but they were there for like a year, and then my dad got transferred. But I'm super excited to come.
Well, we're very excited to have you here. You're going to be here this weekend, and starting off with the barbershop events we're having at 3 different barbershops here, which I think is really amazing. Barbershops, beauty shops, is that it is, hopefully I'm not stealing anybody's thing, but it is our Black forum, right? I mean, in the barbershop, in the beauty shop, there's very honest, candid, real conversations that people have. And it's almost in a non-judgmental space. You see a lot of people replicating barbershop talks, beauty shop talks, just because of what it represents in our community is one of those gathering places that we have. And so you have the 3 barbershop events on Saturday. Also, there's a screening of the movie The Barber, right?
Oh, very excited to see that. Yes.
Anybody you know in that movie?
Yes, I do. I know someone that's in that movie.
You know somebody in that movie?
And yeah, I do. And The Barber of Little Rock promises to be an amazing movie. An appearance by, I hear a rumor that Wendell Pierce might be in that movie.
Ooh.
And I think that might be good.
Well, what is it like? I know I hate hearing my voice. I do this, for a living. I hate hearing my voice. I think I got the worst voice in radio. People will come up and say, "Do your radio voice." I said, "That is my radio voice." What does that seem like, though, when you see yourself on the screen? What is that like?
It's weird. I don't mind seeing myself because I'm used to that for modeling. Right. My voice is what I'm like you, sir. That throws me. I use an accent for work, but seeing it, all the moving parts is a little weird. It's a little surreal. It's interesting.
Do you have a tendency to be severely critical of what you're seeing?
No, I'm pleasantly surprised usually. Okay. Thank God.
Okay.
I come from a production and modeling background, so I'm looking at everything, the angles, the color, the lighting. So usually I'm critical during the process, and once I've seen it, I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad, or so yeah, I'm a little bit in the reverse of that, just from my production background.
So have you done any directing, or do you see you doing directing?
I would love to. I have not done any. I did some in college, actually.
Okay.
But before I do directing, I would want to do writing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will venture into that a little later down the line.
What, directing?
Directing possibly, but I think writing. I've done producing, but I really enjoy the acting. So Yeah, maybe down the line.
Well, I mean, because you said you were so keenly aware of the production aspect of it,
Mhm.
and you know what it looks like to put it together, the color schemes, obviously the editing. You know, I love movies, I love film, and so I sit there and I watch how they put them together, and it's the craftsmanship is just amazing. Sometimes when you just look at how all those people ever put together this story, right? And not only does it keep your interest, it entertains you, and that's a special skill.
Well, I have a confession. I thought at one point I wanted to direct, but then I rewatched The Spook Who Sat by the Door. That's now one of my favorite movies, and I'm like, oh, no way. No. I'm just in awe of directors, and
he did that with virtually no money.
That's the insane part. It still plays well. I'm like, there's things I wouldn't even have thought to have done. That's one of the most genius films, and with some of the best acting that I've ever seen.
And you know, not only the metaphor of that book, it was a book that it's in my. You know, they would ask someone a few years back, give your 11 books that influenced your life. And The Spook Who Sat by the Door was one of the books that inspired my life. That, Man-Child in the Promised Land. But The Spook, it's just an incredible concept there. And I can remember, I'm a little older than you, I can remember reading it when I was in junior high school. And then to see the movie was like, wow.
It's just, I read it a while ago and it didn't have the same impact on me as the movie. The movie was just...
Well, I think when you're able to, that's the other thing. I know people said, I always tell the joke, I read the 10 Commandments in the Bible, the movie was better. You know what I mean? When you're able to visualize it, and I know you have the snobs out there, oh, you know, it's not true to the book. Oh, I read the book. I'm kind of going like, well, you got to do some things. You just can't do the book. You know,
you ain't lying. I'm a visual.
Right. And that's why it's difficult for me to go to plays, because the plays ask me to be a little bit more abstract than I am. I'm going like, I got to kind of visualize that there's a tree there, even though there's no tree there. But in a movie, I'm like, this is why I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. Oppenheimer is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. When you just look at this, checking all the boxes. You know, I mean, visually, when you watch it, I mean, it's an incredible film. I thought, wow, you know, you can
I'm definitely gonna watch it now.
Yeah, I mean, and I watched it, you know, on the big screen, and there's things in there where one of the things I really loved is, you know, light travels faster than sound, right? So when they do this nuclear test in the desert, you see the explosion, right? But they don't hear it because there's a delay, because you see it, but then you don't feel it. And then when you begin to feel, it was incredible how they made that movie. That's a great movie. I mean, it's a great movie. Couple of quick things. I know you got to go. Who inspired you as an actress? That's someone you would look at, male or female?
Diane Carroll.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she's sounded like me. She looked like, she's just flawless. She's everything ever. Just everything. Yeah, she would. I would say her. Yeah.
Two of my favorite roles with Diane Carroll is Claudine, because I don't know if you want to do a stereotypical woman on welfare, it wasn't Diane Carroll. Okay,
That's
I mean, she's incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, of course, in the 5 Heartbeats.
And see, I did love her, and I love that. Dominique Devereaux.
Oh, Dominique Devereaux. I don't know.
Oh, ask your wife. Let me tell you something. This was a weekly. Like, this was she just to see that, to go from that, and I would say her, Felicia Rashad.
Yes.
Yeah, those two stand out. And I'm so sorry. What was your other question? I apologize.
No. I just it could be male or female. Obviously, well, I mean, because you know, people look at, but Diane Carroll, Miss Diane Carroll. Great quick story, Diane Carroll. I was at the dedication of the King Memorial, and she was there, and she came out to speak to the audience, and she said, I picked the wrong day to wear stilettos. She was in her 70s.
Okay, I love her already.
Oh man, I was just like, Miss Diane Carroll. There's two people's names at in my program we put a handle on. Miss Diane Carroll and Mr. Jim Brown. Those are two that we
Oh, well, the Mr. Jim Brown, I don't know. We can agree to disagree.
Oh, I know that there's some things with Mr. Jim Brown.
You okay? Okay, Mr. Jim Brown, but fantastic footballer.
Right, great football player, right? But no, there were two handles. But yeah, Diane Carroll is just, and then when you hear her story, and you know how she came up, and why when she traveled with her own china, her own linen. You know, she, as my friend would say, she's a beast.
She's the epitome of class, and I just find her just amazing. It's just nothing she really can't do, and I like her versatility. And again, I really like what you say about the stereotypical woman on welfare. I love when actors just really have a range like that, and and are even considered for those type of roles. I mean, hence I'm playing a mob boss. You'll meet me and be like, you? But I love it. I love that I'm able to challenge myself and that they saw that in me.
Well, you're going to be here this weekend, and you get a chance to see the city that you were conceived in. And so we'd love to have you there. And of course, to be able to meet your husband. But man, I appreciate you taking a few moments with us. I hope this was a great conversation for me, because it was great for me. So I really appreciate it.
This was great. I was very nervous. So thank you. You're just delightful to talk to.
Well, thank you. And hopefully I'll get a chance to see you Saturday.
Absolutely.
Miss Erica Wood, she will be in town this weekend, part of the outreach effort to increase, certainly Black male voter participation in the upcoming election. So we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. And please watch Raising Canaan on Stars coming back this winter. Thank you so much.
Is this not your last season? You guys are going to be continuing, correct?
Yes, we're going to continue. We have another season 5 coming.
Excellent.
Awesome.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa, easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
Are you ready to take your self-care routine to new heights? Introducing Bird Songs, your one-stop
Michelle had a conversation with Wendell on Wednesday, right?
One of them days.
One of those days, he had the conversation. So, what are they coming? They're going to be in Milwaukee this weekend. So this evening, there's the Faith Coalition Rally Revival. That's going to be held at Greater Bethlehem Temple, Worldwide Ministries, 2222 East Center Street. And this, it starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow, starting at 12:45. Black Men Vote Weekend of Action. They're going to be meeting at 12:45 at the Wisconsin Dem Organizing Office, 8405 West Lisbon Avenue. And then between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., there's the President Free Haircut Giveaway. It's getting kind of close. I don't know if you give it on election day, would that be considered? So you can join the Harris for President campaign at the participating barbershops as we give away free haircuts to community members in attendance between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Of course, when I don't have any hair, that's when they're giving free haircuts. As we learn more about the issues more important,
I'm sure they gave some away back in your day.
They get cleaned up. Okay, haircuts come at first come, first served basis. The participating barbershops, G's Clippers, 2200 North Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Premier Barbers and Stylists, 8064 North 76th Street. And then Zoe's Barber and Elite Beauty Salon, 817 West National Avenue. And that'll be between 12 and 3. Then tomorrow, Black Young Professionals Happy Hour with Wendell Pierce and Erica Woods. That will be at the Pepper Pot starting at 3:30. Pepper Pot is located at 2215 North Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Rasta Pasta. Have you had the Rasta Pasta?
No.
Oh, it's the bomb, man. And then there's a barbershop talk and film screening with Wendell Pierce and Erica Woods. That will be tomorrow at 5:30 at G's Clippers. They're there they're going to be screening the movie The Barber of Little Rock, and that stars Mr. Wendell Pierce himself, so he'll be there. And then on Sunday, the Black Voters for Harris Walls Gospel Brunch and Forum. That will be at 2 p.m. at the African Americans Women's Center. So a lot to do this weekend. Actually, they're trying to mobilize Black men. I think that Black men are going to be an important part of this election process this year around in terms of the margins. And so in spite of the fact that Kamala Harris washes her greens in bathtubs, that,
Come on, man.
Don't start that.
Yeah, man. That's just,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. They clean it.
They clean.
nobody want to hear that.
What?
And I never heard nobody even do that.
Well, that don't mean it didn't happen because I hadn't heard it.
I'm just saying, just
Hey,
stay on the issues, man. Because that
if they had to dig a hole in the
just
ground
dumb.
and put some water in it to clean them greens, they got clean.
They came out the dirt.
And what you cleaning? All you clean off the green is the dirt, right?
That's right.
She's digging the hole, just saying that. Man.
That wasn't like, was it?
It was just like I
Who was
keep
it
hot
here?
sauce in my purse.
Well, that's a real thing, though.
Like I said, I've never heard nobody say that either.
Talk to 414-444-5250.
We had
His
this
sisters
discussion already.
walk
Man.
around
We don't
with-
have to go back to
Hillary
that
Clinton had hot sauce in her purse.
again.
Her and Bill, huh?
I don't know what Bill was doing. You mean talk? Don't mess with me.
No, but that's
Southern.
No,
She's
no,
a Southern
no.
girl.
Who that?
Oh, Hillary.
No, Hillary's from Illinois.
No, but I'm saying, you know,
She lived in
moved
Arkansas.
south,
Yeah, she moved to Arkansas.
just stay on the issues.
You
man.
need to understand women.
I don't think
Jeez.
I'll ever be able to.
Jeez.
Yeah. You-
Kind of harsh, aren't you?
I don't see how that became relevant though,
Yeah,
until
man.
Trump started talking about is she black? You know, like he can be the determinant. Of
But
that.
then she shouldn't even feed into that because
And
now
she
people.
didn't. What did she say?
No,
She said
didn't
keep
feed into
moving.
that.
No, she
was
didn't.
making
She
a
said
comment
keep
about
moving.
something
Yeah.
else, and somebody was saying she was. What was the word they used? In
I
other
cooked
words,
mini
they were
greens
saying
back
she-
in my day with my
Yeah,
mom.
like
In
she was
fact,
lying or something.
we used to cook so much that we put it up in the tub.
'cause
Like,
she's got this Indian and Jamaican
If
piece
y'all don't-
going.
Right.
Nobody believes she eat greens.
Right.
Are you
I wanna-
kidding me? Jamaicans eat greens.
but again,
Indians do too.
who cares? We not here for how you cooking your greens.
Okay.
We here because we think that you could
It
push
might
the country
matter.
forward.
It might matter for 4 or 5 people.
That's 4 or 5 votes. Man.
That's 4 or
I
5
think
votes.
it's more important that
Got to call. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Oh, they're off.
Oh, they go.
There you go.
Mm.
414-444-5250. All right.
You were
I think
saying
it's more critical that they consider even voting for Trump. You know, it's like,
Do you have a problem with Mr. Trump?
oh, the man has no policies whatsoever. You hear him open
he
his
said they're
mouth.
like, I thought you never asked. Open the
No
floodgates.
policies. I mean,
Debo knows
You know-
we shared with the listening audience
Mm.
his policies. What was the particular policy? we were
You want
talking
to
about?
hear it?
Wanna
he
hear
has.
Wait, can I
Yeah,
hear
I'd
it?
love to hear it.
it? Okay.
There they are.
Crickets.
You'll be
Hey, that was
silent for a
pretty
long
good,
time,
man. Because I'm looking at
You'll be
Debo waiting for him
silent
to
for a
press a
long
button or
time.
something.
No.
That was good.
I mean,
man.
he get on stage
That
no
was
matter
good.
what, no matter what the appearance, and he start complaining about his own life. That's it. He don't present anything that's going to really change anything.
Drill,
talking
baby,
about-
drill.
He talking about going golfing if he gets back in the office, and who he going to appoint to do something
Drill,
that
baby,
he
drill.
not able to do.
But have y'all heard this one Elon Musk?
Yeah.
He been tripping too.
Yeah,
He's going to make him over.
some new
Government
commission
efficiency. It is part of 2025 because we read 2025. What they want to do, excuse me, is eliminate civil service.
Mhm.
Eliminate civil service on the federal level.
The educational department.
That means that you come in, you can do appointees. Civil service gives the appearance of fairness. You take an exam based on what it is that you're applying for. And it's also rights that you have protected as an employee. So for them, if people going through again, I'm glad that people are aware. This brother called us back, I want to say March, talking about the 2025 project.
Yeah, he
And,
did.
here I go like another conspiracy. And then you find out, oh, no, this is real. 933 pages. This is really real.
Well, Trump says I don't know anything about it because he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He don't know nothing about anything that they.
He's
promote.
always blind when you bring something up, like abortion.
All I'm saying is that you got everybody in his camp. They may have the details, but Trump has no details about anything.
But here's the thing: when you are that's usually the case when you are the face of something. People often look at the face and think that is the brains and that is the ideology and the method to where it's coming from. But it is often those that are in the background that are doing not necessarily all of the work, but have that
that you have
the
to have
brain
a team.
power. Yeah,
Right.
And so that.
But at least the leader should have some sort of vision as to what he's trying to do. This man is absent of all of that.
I wouldn't say he don't have a vision.
I
think
you have to
I
really
think he
listen
got
to
a
him
vision.
to understand that he spouts off at the mouth
Yeah.
about specific
because
things.
he's just so damn smart.
But you don't think that
all of it is bluster.
But to say that he don't have a vision, you don't think that if elected, he won't
it won't be him establishing.
No. I'm
it
saying
is
like
he
he won't pardon certain people and try to go after certain people, and he won't put certain laws and executive orders in place.
The last time he talked about putting Hillary Clinton in jail and did nothing.
But when he's got in office, he did that Muslim ban.
Yeah, he did do that.
I mean, so
that was based on somebody else's position, though.
I think he has a vision. It's just that one, he never really tells us everything of his
That's
plan.
right. He ain't telling. He get up there and say you fired,
but no,
and won't even know why.
But I could be honest. I did not recall him ever saying that he was gonna do what he did that first day in office and shutting off all of those people from those airports across the nation, and even those that was like in New York. I didn't remember him doing, but when he did it, it was like, whoa, dog is wow.
Or he waited too late to close the borders for COVID, which allowed it was going to happen anyway. I mean, this is one of the more virulent viruses we had in 100 years, but people were already in the country, right?
I mean, even with the border, right? he did say that he was going to do something about the border.
Build the wall.
But he also
Mexico
said
was going to pay
for it, right? And that never came up. But so like he does have
never came up.
some sort of a vision.
Don't put the camera on me, Car, because they did just like this. That's
no, he didn't even go to them with that. You know,
There wasn't nothing he
didn't.
could do
They
to make them
told him
people
we ain't
pay
paying for
anything.
nothing.
You ain't paying for
That's
nothing.
right.
Your problem.
I could say whatever I want. Oh, I'm gonna make Debo do this, but if me and Debo don't never have no conversation about it, me saying that it's just me saying that.
Well, let's
you have better sense than that.
Let's
than to say
not
what
get
you're gonna
our
make another man do.
Right.
Our news.
But he
from-
didn't go. But he
I
didn't.
think that the
he didn't
biggest
go to
problem
Mexico.
is,
He didn't have no conversation with
the
Mexico.
common sense that people need to have when they elect who's going to lead them.
Let's-
Right?
I'm gonna give
Because
you a different
you have
word.
to ask the question:
Good sense.
if we were living without an actual government structure, would that be somebody that you would follow?
No. But there are some who would. Obviously, 46%
I have
of
to
the
doubt that the people who are supporting him would elect him. It's just like I had this graphic. It has a wolf on the page, and it says even the animals don't elect the dumbest one to lead them.
But here's the thing about human behavior. You cannot predict it, and it's hard to control.
Well, he was the one that was most surprised the day after he was.
He won.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Him and his wife, all of them look shell shocked.
Like
And my wife and me and a whole lot of people.
Everybody else
was surprised. Even
but he
people
was
voted
more
for him
surprised.
was surprised
You
to
know?
the fact that they had to get a bigger ballroom.
Hey.
Because he was going to have a very small ballroom.
You mean I
That was
won?
supposed to have been his concession speech.
Right. And that's another reason why I just did not rock with Hillary. Because that night, instead of coming to her audience and say, hey, we trying to figure out if this is even real, she didn't even come out to address the audience that night.
She was in shock she lost.
It don't matter,
Because
man.
she won the
People that
popular vote,
came-
didn't she?
She was in shock.
People that
She won the popular vote.
people
She won the popular vote, but she still
kinda
lost.
But no,
Electoral college.
what I'm saying is just
Big
showing
time.
proper respect to her supporters. Like they came, waited all of the, like they was waiting too.
I think
You
that
know, we
nobody
watching
wanted
on
to be
TV.
part of that wake.
At least be
Yeah,
like,
that's a
hey,
history line.
hey, y'all,
that's
I know what y'all hearing. We still trying to figure out the numbers. Tomorrow we're gonna be back and we gonna. You could at least, she could have at least done that.
Did you stay
She
up and
didn't do
watch?
that.
Did you watch the coverage? Because I did. Obviously,
I
I
did
have that
too.
responsibility, and I'm going. This dude, the trends are going. He's going to win. You
Mhm.
started seeing states that you didn't think were in play,
Mhm.
and Wisconsin, and Michigan, and it's like, dude is going to win.
Yeah, I mean, but you want to talk about Wisconsin?
Still be you
Again, Wisconsin
Can you
was
turn it up a little bit, Stingley? We couldn't hear it.
You set out to do.
No. Don't even like. You all right? You want to know why? Because every week Debo phone running off, and sometimes he don't even be up in there. We can't even turn his phone off. It's just going off. So you all
Really,
right,
DJ?
man.
No passes given.
You all right?
So you giving out passes
Get the
today?
pass.
You just gave out a pass. You do realize
I did
that,
try
right?
to turn it off, though.
I gave him a pass.
See that?
I
See that?
gave
I
him-
finally got him on a pass.
I'm just
You
saying.
won't give
he
Aaron
can't-
Rodgers a pass.
He
No.
can't. All
won't
I'm
give
saying
him a
is
pass.
Debo can't talk because every time
You went.
his phone
You
goes
went
off.
against me to give a pass. The dude that all in the commercial box. And don't forget, as long as I'm here, there'll be no passes given. You do know the
ain't no
meaning of
passes.
no, right?
It ain't no passes.
Do you know the meaning of no?
He's been pretty
Yeah.
consistent though. He don't give out
Yeah.
passes.
He just gave out one.
Well, that's rare.
You don't call that a pass?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's rare.
He didn't
I'm
say.
special.
And rarely I'll give out passes.
Yes, you think we
it
need
ain't
to?
no-
You
it
said
ain't
no
real.
You think we
it
need to
ain't no
amend?
pass.
We need to amend the spot.
Yeah,
No, we
you
don't.
got to come in and recut that, man.
And maybe if you're lucky, I'll give a
And-
pass.
if
Hey,
you're-
maybe
let's get back-
If your name is Craig Stingley,
No.
you'll get a pass.
No, that ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
As long as Debo's against you.
Let's get back. It wasn't no pass. All I was
He
saying.
just admitted it was a pass. Now you trying to help him out.
You should have never boxed him.
and keep saying it.
You should have never boxed yourself in the corner by
Right.
saying
That's
I
the-
give no passes.
the way that
But
works.
at some point, you might have to give
All
a
we have
pass.
to do is
I
say it enough.
Hey,
and
if I-
everybody will believe it too.
Ain't
There
no
wasn't
passes.
no pass. No.
But
Oh, man, y'all
if we go back to 2016, even Wisconsin was an anomaly.
Some callers want to say you just gave out a pass.
No, they're not.
No,
Because
he don't give out
Ted,
passes.
Ted Cruz won and Bernie Sanders won Wisconsin. So You know, it was a whole lot of wacky stuff
there was a
going
whole
on
lot, but
in
the fact-
2016.
And it didn't hit me till after the fact. As you know, Hillary Clinton hasn't been in Wisconsin since the convention.
Right.
It didn't hit me until afterwards. And then
choked.
now we're doing the post-mortem and we're going, oh man, dude, people didn't show up to vote. There was a whole lot of things that lined up, and people who normally didn't show up to vote showed up to vote for Trump.
The audacity of her lost that campaign.
Oh, it was
Taking it for
poorly, and it
granted.
was like one of the most
The
poorly run.
audacity
She didn't
of her.
spend no money here.
She didn't spend any money.
Again, if I lose
She
a state,
assumed.
if
She
I lose
assumed.
a state and I'm still in the race, I can't assume that I'm going to win that state. I lost that state.
But
So
she
I
was
gotta
up
put
by
some
seven.
effort.
She was up by 7
guys,
points.
Do you think that, and it's possible, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, I'm just asking a question. Many times we think that, oh yeah, that's my boy. He gonna bring me that state. I'll get that state because that's my boy over there. You know,
Did I confirm it?
He gonna deliver.
Did I confirm it though? She didn't confirm nothing, but guess who did? Trump. Trump came to Wisconsin multiple times, even to Milwaukee multiple times, where it was the Bradley Center at that time, and they had town shut off. I remember this because Trump
Yeah, the
lost to
national
Ted
media made a point
Cruz.
that Hillary didn't come here.
Yeah.
He lost to
Well,
Ted Cruz. This wasn't a gimme state to nobody.
Yeah,
So
it
you
was.
had to.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it
it
was.
wasn't.
No, because you based
It
on.
was hers
Yes, it
to
was.
lose.
It was hers to lose. If you based on 2012 performance, right?
Did Barack come?
If you base it on
Yeah.
Okay.
I
then.
saw Barack. He
Okay.
came.
Yeah,
he
he
came.
okay,
he
then.
came. I saw him at Mary Burke's when she was running. He was
Again.
here several times.
Again, he came here. He won. She didn't come here, and she didn't even win
But
the
I'm
primaries.
gonna put it out here. Even if she would have come, I don't think it would have made a difference because.
Yes, it would have.
Hold on, wait a minute, DJ. The numbers that said what? 40,000 people who voted in 2012 did not vote in 2016.
So are you insinuating that she lost to the couch?
Oh, the couch people. She lost to DJ because DJ said I wasn't feeling her, and there was a lot of people who weren't feeling her. So I mean, and that's real. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that because voters are consumers. You have every responsibility to try to win their vote, and if you don't, and I go on local levels where you had people making some assumptions, only to find out in the echo chamber was this, but in the bigger world it was something else. And so all these things lined up where people stayed at home in Michigan and people stayed at home in Pennsylvania and people stayed at home in Wisconsin. All three of these states Obama carried in 08 and 12.
But there is
and
a
she
reason,
should have.
But there is a reason why so Keith used to always get on me for being black and white. Yep, we're gonna get to the caller. Keith used to always get on me for being black and white, and he would say like there is some shades of gray here. The black and white is she lost because she did not put in the requisite effort needed to win.
She didn't do the work.
The gray area is, well, others have come and they've won. And historically, Wisconsin has always voted this way.
Let me ask you a question. All three of you guys. There's this candidate, okay, and we're just gonna say in your neighborhood, your automatic district. This guy comes to your door. You don't know a whole heck of a lot about him. He leaves you some lead, and you know he comes to your door. He converses with you. You talk to him. You get a good vibe on him. But then there's this guy who, you know, he's maybe we'll just say he's the incumbent. But you like what this guy is talking about, and you like his policy, and because he came to your door, could that steal your vote?
Yeah,
It happens every day.
It's the same thing. We're saying the same thing. She didn't even think enough of us to even come here.
And then here's
but
the
Keith was saying that
here to get people. To
Keith
go
was
out
saying
there.
like she already had it. If you lost against Bernie Sanders, you did not have it.
but
Now,
a
if she
primary
won-
is different than a
But
general.
if she beat Bernie, then you could have a solid argument to where, oh yeah, well, maybe she didn't have to
But-
come
but look at-
because she had already won.
But DJ,
But she lost.
look. Of course, she lost. But look at what
I'm
she
talking
was.
about to Bernie.
Look at what she's lined up
But that
against.
was in the primaries.
Right.
I think the point.
And here's where the Dems really fumbled. Instead of doing data to find out what was going on with people who, if you would have done polling and I'm talking about whatever you could do on the ground level to find out
Yeah.
that the level of enthusiasm is very low for you.
Mm-hmm.
And likability. And I asked the question when we were doing the people's poll on Wednesday, does gender, does ethnicity, does religion factor into your decision as a voter? Most people said no, but in fact it does. It really does.
All day, every day.
And this is not a bad thing. It's just it's a is. You can't tell me that a significant portion of descendants of enslaved African people voted for Barack Obama because he was black. A whole lot of black people voted for Barack
absolutely. The
Obama
majority
because
of
he was black.
Mhm.
Now the problem,
and he was qualified.
okay, but the problem with that
But
is
a lot of them didn't know he was qualified.
Didn't
They
care
know that he
until-
was
it didn't matter.
out of Chicago. And
It
was a
didn't
senator
matter.
and all that.
They
didn't
wouldn't
care
call
nothing
us
about
true.
none of that.
Did you hear black people call
It
in
was
and
a
say, "Hey, Barack,
gradual
where
Couldn't even say his name.
are you
Yeah.
on reparations?"
You know why I don't even like that argument and I don't like that statement? Because there's always a flip side to something. So there was a number of people that voted against him because
Exactly.
So like that's a
How many people are supporting Donald Trump because he's a white male?
that's a but that argument
Just
cancels
about all
out.
of them. That's about
No.
all of them. That's
that argument
voting
cancels
on
it's
it.
out.
not a
Other-
win
he doesn't
thing.
have any policy.
It's an
Want to
analysis.
sustain
It's an
and maintain
analysis
the
of
status
what
quo.
went into it. It's not like there's this one argument. There were multiple factors that factored in to Hillary Clinton losing that race.
I guarantee you
And-
that there are going to be people that will vote for Vice President Harris because they feel that she cares and hey, she's come to this state
and she's an
multiple times.
AKA, and she graduated from Howard. I mean, you know, I mean,
for your reasons, I
all
got
those
my
factors.
reasons.
To act as if
Right,
people,
but I'm
You
saying-
got your reasons. I got mine.
right?
Some people could say that she's not neglecting Wisconsin,
Oh, she hasn't.
but people who didn't vote for Hillary
But a
could
lot of,
say
but a
she
lot of that,
neglected
but a
Wisconsin.
lot of that had everything to do with the commitment that Tom Perez made right after Trump won. Said we will not take Wisconsin for granted. Whatever resources we need to win Wisconsin, we're going to put in Wisconsin. You saw it with the Biden race.
Mhm.
You've seen it with the Harris race. That's something Hillary Clinton didn't do because she operated from this framework that a lot of us do. How could you vote for this dude?
Yeah.
But what she didn't factor in, but I might not come vote for you.
Right.
You're listening to Community Voice Callers. We thank you for your patience. We're going to let you get in on the conversation. We'll be right
You
back.
sure you're gonna let him in?
Mike policy.
This is the thing.
Are you looking for a new place to go? Something grown and sexy where bosses mingle to promote their business, feel supported, and meet new people? Then you want to go to the First Friday Business Mixer.
How can you file for bankruptcy umpteen times? Grab a woman in the private area.
That part, yeah.
Great business,
Oh yeah, and do crazy stuff, and then be running for president and a felon.
I can give you.
What?
I got 2 words for you.
White.
Actually, 3. White male privilege.
Yeah,
But I would also add that when
nobody
has there
says
ever
nothing about
been
it though.
when has politics ever been moral?
I have to believe that there was a Jimmy Carter's of the world. I think Jimmy had morals.
Yeah,
He
Jimmy
would
Carter
be one
was. Yeah.
certainly that.
But what about the? But
What happened? He lost.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
he
what?
lost. He was
But then,
one-termer.
no, he won. He won. But I'm
In
saying, but what about
76.
the people in his circle? Like all of these people ain't just good people. And when we've talked about politics being dirty for years.
But when you know somebody filed bankruptcy umpteen times, you shouldn't want him to be your president.
But what if I'm a person who had to file bankruptcy?
What if it was covered up?
What if you had to file bankruptcy?
Yeah, what if I'm one of those people who, in my mind, here's the other thing about Donald Trump, and when you get to low information voters, he doesn't make it complicated. You know, he's not going to sit there and have a conversation about the causes of inflation. He's not going to do that. What he's going to do is say, "I'm going to fix it," and then he has no
And
plan
won't
to
tell you
fix it
how.
because he don't have a
Yeah,
plan.
he's gonna
It's
file
what you want to
bankruptcy.
hear,
So
right? Or
United
the country
States will be
files
filing
bankruptcy.
if Donald Trump gets in office.
Yeah, he
So
had
we
no
don't have-
specifics as to whatever he's going to do.
But for some people, they don't want specifics. Just be my guy.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well,
call
them
him a
the same
low
ones-
information voter,
Right.
so I'd agree with that.
Right.
I like the comment that Kamala Harris made about him, though, that he is not a serious person.
Them are the
he's not.
same people that sleeps on mattresses on the floor instead of on the bed frame.
I mean, it depends on
he's
what do you
counting
call
on-
serious, though. Because
But he's counting on these supporters to not be serious as well.
What she's saying is, when you hear that term "serious" and academic, means that there is no intellectual curiosity.
Mhm.
He doesn't take anything other than himself seriously.
Right.
Everything and everybody else is just all part of the backdrop of his existence. He is a narcissist.
But you usually get the adverse of that, and he is the adverse of that, which is appealing to that particular.
Oh, there's a whole lot.
group.
This idea,
It's more than one way to cook.
What I
chicken.
had to learn was,
But they say United States are full with idiots. So
oh yeah,
Hey.
there's 1 or 2, and
One
they
or
make up a
2
significant voting block.
100 million.
Yeah.
A significant number in the voting, and that becomes the. And then for all you smart folks who you just too smart to show up and vote, you do that at your own peril.
That's it.
So go on
and
and
then worry about if you're gonna get your food stamps on time next month.
until there's a Republican administration who says we need to cut food stamps,
Mhm.
which is part of 2025. So those folks who are dependent on these government programs, and that's always the dichotomy that you have in the African American community,
Mhm.
because we have a different sense of the importance of government than other groups for a lot of different reasons. Right now, we can be socially conservative. Might have a problem with same-sex marriage. We might have a problem with abortion. But when it comes down to government services, a lot of people going like, yeah, my Social Security check is important to me. And so when people are not listening,
But you know that he did back up on that, though.
back up on what?
Who, Trump?
Yeah, talking about
well,
getting rid of Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, like just because, again, he's not serious, and
He
you're
flip-flop on everything, though.
but you're disenfranchising a lot of the very voters that support you when you talking about, cutting those programs.
And the worst of it is that his supporters will come behind him and say, well, he really didn't mean that, or they misquoted him. And it's like,
then
no,
when he
you
cut-
heard him say it.
And then when he cut it, they'll go shoot up schools.
That's interesting. Appreciate you, man. Next. But there was a mass shooting in Forest Park, Illinois. 4 people lost their lives.
Mhm.
The press didn't descend. But a individual who seems like is seriously disturbed went after homeless people who were sleeping on a train. Why don't we have the same reaction to 4 people dying? That's a mass shooting, right? that we have with the 4 people who died in Georgia? Why are we trying to understand the motives of this 14-year-old in Georgia and the fact that he is white, and we need to understand where it came from? And then we're not trying to understand what happened on that train in Illinois. I can tell you why. This is the whole idea of white supremacy, and that white kids died. Well, actually, it wasn't white kids who died. One of them looks like his last name was Schermerhorn. At first, I thought it was Indian, but actually, he's a African American young man. And then the other person looked like he had a Spanish last name.
That's a good question for
Well,
Candace
part
Owens.
of it too.
And then the teacher was an
there's
immigrant.
violence within them when all.
I mean, that's
Caucasians.
That's a question for Candace Owens.
When they say
she would,
this doesn't happen in our neighborhood,
she would have
until it happens.
Answer for that.
That's the only place it happens, or not the only. Let me back.
No, I'm saying if you look at urban schools, first of all, you can't get a weapon in an urban school because of metal detectors. So, and I heard they were doing a whole conference on school shootings out in D.C., and there was a brother there who ran an academy, and he said, for our young people, it is not what happens in the schools. For our young people, it's trying them to get home from school. So think about it.
Or even when they let out, everybody is converging in the hallway to leave, and a lot of skirmishes happen outside.
As violence, though. It's like that's violence. This isn't violence. This is disturbed. There was something. He was disturbed in his home, and
obviously there is a malfunction there, because most human beings, will not say, you know what, I'm going to get my AR-15 and then I'm going to go and shoot up the school. Most people don't operate that way. Now, there are people who do, obviously, but most people don't. And then here's the tendency. You hate to be, I know Sherwin used to do this, I always talk about crimes that would be more apt to be committed by white folks. Mass murders are usually white males.
Yeah.
White males.
This morning on Morning Joe, Scarborough, he said that very thing.
Yeah, I mean, because it's statistically, it is what it is. You like to think that that's why in Barbershop, Cedric the Entertainer said the DC Sniper was the Jackie Robinson of crime.
DJ, you didn't find that funny. You awful quiet.
I was zoned out. I didn't. I really wasn't listening.
Stay with the show.
Stay with us. But no, I think that. So when we look at it, let's get back to Donald Trump. When you look at it, people will. Because I think who was it said about values and morals? And was it the caller? But DJ is right. It's an oxymoron for politics. It's like business ethics. That's an oxymoron. Business is, and thank you, George. George sent us some showing that Kroger's had admitted to price gouging. Really? A lot of us are still trying to figure out why chicken wings are so damn high. We understood during the pandemic.
No, I didn't understand that either. I never understand
supply chain.
Because no, it's just people deciding to set a price on something. People always want to bring up these institutional reasonings for why things happen. No, it's people behind these institutions who make these decisions. We were just talking about why the sporting events costing so much, and why we have to go to these various different platforms. That's a person making a decision stating that it's going to cost this much for you to be able to view it, and in order for you to view it, you have to get this particular platform.
You know what it's called?
It's the same thing.
You know what it's called?
BS. That's
capitalism.
Same thing.
Cannibalism.
Capitalism.
It's BS. So
cash makes the world go round.
Prices being higher than normal and usual, it's not
well,
normal, and
I
it's
think
not
Trump
understandable.
gave us an example of that too when he told Congress not to support the border bill so that he could get the effect that he wanted.
Yeah.
They do the same thing with the economy.
But look at God.
You know.
So in spite of that border bill not being passed, the border crossings have dropped.
Still drop down.
They
Yeah.
have dropped significantly.
But you'll never hear them admit that.
You never hear that. Here's the other thing.
And still, she's the czar who couldn't get it done.
Did anybody notice that gas prices are going down?
Yeah.
I ain't noticed it.
Yeah, gas prices are going down. And they say that it could be under $3 by Thanksgiving. And they pumped more oil under Joe Biden than they did under Donald Trump. Here's the other thing. When you talk about job creations over the 3-year period that they measured in the Trump administration and then the 3-year period in the Biden administration, the Biden administration has created 2 times as many jobs, something like 14 million jobs that they created under Trump. It was 7 million jobs. So the numbers are saying something very differently than what
It's been
he's
like
out
that
doing.
for some time now, though.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is that inflation is still real, man. I mean, we're not, but people don't want to hear, and I don't blame them. They don't want to hear you go into this whole macroeconomic discussion about why inflation hit the way inflation hit us. We don't want to talk about that. But here's the thing about inflation. If you have inflation, that means that people have money.
Mm-hmm.
The value of money is not as great, but people have money. So that gets back to where you're saying, well, yeah, people going to sporting events and they're dropping. Now, here's what Disney did. Disney basically priced themselves out of the whole vacation piece, right? People going. So Disney now has dramatically or will dramatically cut its prices. It pushed it to the point because people would actually take out loans, take their kids to Disney World.
It is people behind these institutions
that,
making these
But it's
decisions.
also capitalism. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on air.
Oh, hang on.
Oops.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Chief, I was trying to tell you that months ago, the article being priced out off the 75% profit market. It just takes advantage of people. What did you say, Clay? What did you call it?
Price gouging.
No, you didn't call it. What did you just call it just a few minutes ago?
What did I just call what?
Craig said when you said, I think you said
cannibalism.
Yeah, cannibalism.
Okay.
To me, that was right on point, man, when you said that, because that's what it is. They're just being greedy because they know they can get away with it. And here's the thing that really just really blows my mind. They complaining about inflation, left and right. It's her fault. It's Joe Biden's fault. It's Kamala Harris, right? It's not their fault. They can't. But they talking about and Joe Biden talking about shrinkflation. So now she's trying to do stuff to get it down, and now they're trying to say she's a socialist. So, it's just like, what do y'all want? She's talking about trying to do something about it, but now y'all trying to label her a socialist.
Well, they're trying to win they're trying to win an election. So they're
gonna say anything.
They're gonna say anything. You don't make it true because they're saying it.
Well, I know that, Keith. What did you say? They're blind followers. It's just crazy. It makes it doesn't make any sense. And I can tell you something right now. We already know what's up. We already talking right now about the debate. You hear what he's saying about the debate? That's her best friend. This dude always sets up things that.
Ain't he gonna be on Fox though?
No, ABC.
No,
he's always the victim.
Fox will show it, but ABC.
Who said that he's always the victim? Who said that? Exactly.
That's what Trump tries to do.
He's always the victim. Let him tell him.
Yeah. That's his
For
MO.
me, but always out his mouth. He the best this, he the best that, and it's just like only I. I mean, this dude is just full of himself. Chief, I sent you something I think you're going to enjoy about Earth, Wind, and Fire. A lot of stuff I didn't know about Maurice White, so I don't know if you got a chance to look at that yet, because I know that's your favorite group.
I will, and you know what? There's a great book out there written that they based the play on. We went down to see Chicago on the life of Maurice White. Yeah, one of the interesting things, Maurice White, if you look on my phone, I got him on my screensaver, right? That's my prophet. But Maurice White was a music businessman. And there are people who talked about how he took advantage of, him and Larry Dunn, Ooh, they kind of started talking to each other when they got inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But he go in the father of Mr. Hutchins.
Hey, y'all have a blessed day.
All right, who's the father of the Emotions? Talked about how he beat them with Boogie Wonderland. I mean, he was, and then even in the book, he talks about how he could have been more generous in terms of what was going on. But, you know, that's the business he came. He started Chess Records.
Cannibalism.
Oh, man, it's business. You know, and you try to point out to people, business people are not in social services.
Talking about that white dude?
Who?
Chess Records.
Yeah, Maurice White was a studio musician at Chess Records.
On that Muddy Waters and
Once they learn the ropes.
Once you learn the ropes and how it is. Now,
take advantage of it.
Now,
Same
the
in
difference
politics.
between him and then Little Richard was he had a better understanding of the music business and how to make sure you control, you know, your product. And so when you look at even now what they're doing with Earth, Wind, and Fire and how they're able to go in, there's a brand. Their money, his songs are still making money because people use them for advertising. September is one of those ubiquitous songs. Debo and played September at the concert Wednesday night, and to see white people rocking with September. I mean, rocking not with the beat, but actually knew the words, was singing along. That's how ubiquitous that song became. So, and people, you know, I believe they're the greatest band of all time.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see the family of Isaac Hayes come out and pull the plug on.
Yeah, ABBA's just come out too.
Yeah, a number of artists have.
Now the problem that they have is that they may or may not control the rights to the music. What the Trump people were saying was, well, the venue did the licensing piece. You know, like someone was asking Debo, and I'm sorry about trying to explain. Debo's the expert here, but like why on Saturdays there's no YouTube or Facebook. You know, in terms like right now we're live on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever watch us on YouTube, when we go to commercials or music is playing, we basically go black in terms of the visual and the audio, right? Because every time you're playing that music, somebody's getting paid.
But they got to make their money on their advertisement. I'm assuming
that. But the other piece of it is all the licensing that requests he'd have to do his program for YouTube.
Okay.
Right. I mean, it's prohibitive. So that's why you're seeing people sort of licensing. So you could have a band. Yeah, I wrote the song, but you might not own the publishing rights. Right. It could be the publishing rights could be you sold it to a company. That's what the Beatles did. So they didn't really control it.
But that wasn't the case for the Hayes family though, because they own their stuff.
They do, but they also license. And again, the Trump people responded, "Oh, we're only playing what was allowed based on the licensing of this venue." Okay, like it gets a little tricky for bars to be showing like football games.
I have to think that most attorneys won't even be filing a lawsuit unless they know they're gonna get something out of it. You know,
and speaking of which, they showed it. We don't know how much, but they showed it settle fast with the Hyatt.
The family?
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
Family settled. Yeah.
Well, the Hyatt must have came to the table.
Yeah, so I don't know but normally it's going. They didn't even have to file a court case. You know, they
must have had some stipulations in there then too, with the
I'm sure
media not being
non-disclosures and all those things. Obviously, Hyatt is not admitting any guilt, and so the Hyatt was probably trying to protect their liability.
Their brand. Yeah,
but that company, they settled.
Wow. I had not heard.
And normally that would happen after the criminal. No.
It's not surprising, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, this you don't want that video. If you're a Hyatt, you don't want that video constantly being shown. At some point, it begins to impact your brand.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
that's interesting. I had
you hear that?
About that.
Yeah, I know it's time.
No. You didn't hear that?
Oh,
that was Trump's policies. Y'all want to hear it? Well, a song about it. You want to hear it? Here you go. Watch this. Let me stop this. Here's Trump's policies.
Hello, Milwaukee. I'm Clarence
not that
P.
one.
Nichols.
Not that one. No. We got to start that over. Here we go. Wait. Shut up, DJ. You're giving out passes on the no passes. They giving. Jeez, this guy.
We're having some technical difficulties here.
We got it. This is Trump policy right here.
So let me ask you a question.
Dead air.
Can you respond to this before we go to break? Infrastructure Week.
Pardon me?
Infrastructure Week.
Who's got that going?
Well, I need some crickets. Infrastructure Week. Because he talked about it for 4 years. He's doing Infrastructure Week.
What else? What else you got?
Let's see. Healthcare.
Yep. He's still waiting on him to present a plan.
Okay, next.
Inflation reduction.
Mm-hmm. He'll tell you what golf course he played, though, and how he cheated and won.
You're listening to Community Voice. We're up at the last break of the program.
Man.
We'll be right back.
I'm going to tell you, you can tell you.
Hello, Milwaukee. I'm Clarence P. Nicholas, president of the Milwaukee branch NAACP. Please join me the second Monday of every month at 10 a.m. on the Community Voice, hosted by Keith Parris. I will discuss what's been happening as well as the upcoming celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Milwaukee branch NAACP in October.
Come savor the flavors of Pepper Pot Jamaican cuisine, located at 2215 North MLK Drive. Dive into our lunch menu packed with mouth-watering starters like our famous Pepper Pot jerk rolls, refreshing salads, and signature rice bowls, bursting with Caribbean flair. But the fun doesn't stop there. Join us for our happy hour from 5 until 8 p.m. every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, featuring irresistible food and drink specials. Don't miss out on the ultimate Jamaican dining experience at Pepper Pot, where you come hungry and you leave happy. For more information, please call 414-509-5206.
Bacchus Insurance Group, along with Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing Incorporated, presents Mindful Mondays, a dynamic monthly gathering and wine tasting event designed to empower aspiring business owners and professionals to forge new paths in emerging industries. Join us September 9th from 5:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. to learn more about group homes, daycares, and home health services located at Greenwood Park Gallery and Framing at 4233 West Fond du Lac Avenue. For tickets, go to greenwoodparkgallery.com or call 414-444-5166.
I'm Howard Robertson, creator and CEO of the Play Ode mobile app. Somebody said it takes a village, and Black Radio is the village voice of the Black community. Get in on Play Ode, entertained, inspired, informed, and engaged. Hear your music on some of America's best radio stations, podcasts, news, and info, wherever you go. For Black Radio like it was meant to be, download PLAYODE.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
Disaster.
Oh, gee.
Get this last call.
Oh, you got to call it? Yeah. Push the button. Make yourself useful around here for a change.
Caller, thank you for your patience. You're on there, and welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Yes, Kroger is gouging. And look at your receipt. Once you go to the store and buy your stuff, if your food rings up more than what's on that receipt, call the corporate number. They won't only compensate you for the food price not being right, they will compensate you for your bad experience. I know. And also, is Love, Peace, and Soul going to be somewhere this weekend? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, we're going to be at the house this weekend. We're going to be at the house.
I missed you the other day.
Yeah, no, we, I think the 15th and 16th of this month, we have engagements, but yeah, I get the night off tonight.
Okay, because I missed you. I think I went to the wrong park the other day.
Yeah, well, you missed a great show.
I know. Have a wonderful weekend, man.
You as well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
That was
Bye-bye.
too funny, man. I was sitting there. Debo didn't know I was there till he walked over to the table.
Yeah. Oh, is that
You know, it was
Keith?
there. Keith over there.
He
He
was-
talking
he was
about, oh
in-
man, we get to the radio station Tuesday, got a lot to report to Keith. I'm sitting there going like, Keith was taking the report down.
Incognito over there. He was incognito on me. I didn't see him.
He had a disguise on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was just a great.
Then your cousin was there. He asked about you.
My cousin,
Yeah.
Andre.
He didn't give me his name. He just walked up to the stage and
Just started talking in the middle of the show
talking with his 16-ounce can of beer in his hand.
My cousin
was
I
it
don't-
Bud
must have been
I
all
don't know
our
if-
cousins.
Yeah, definitely his cousin.
You know what? And I am Keith Parris Cup reporter. Someone was smoking marijuana there.
Were they?
Oh yeah,
One?
yeah, outside
Are
the
you-
fence.
You
Yeah.
don't say.
Right.
Yeah, there was somebody outside
Where's
the
you
fence
snitching, folks?
smoking the tweed
In the outer perimeter,
in the outer
and
perimeter.
it was strong enough to
Yeah,
reach the
'cause-
inner perimeter.
Because one of the nurses said, "I'm smelling marijuana." I said,
It's a
"Yeah,
park."
Yeah, it's a park. It's a concert.
And it's right across the street from the hospital, right?
Yeah, right.
See, that's what you need.
That's what we said. Like this band is so bad, you're gonna need the emergency room.
Yeah.
That's how cold
ER.
this band is. You're gonna need the ER.
That's cold right there.
Yeah, I mean, we right across the street from the ER, but it's a great show,
Fellas, it's been great. Get out of here.
Always.
man. Craig, what you got, man, before we get out of here?
Well, I just appreciate being here and having an opportunity to get back and share with the community my thoughts. Grateful for being able to share in the love that this community has for us. Keep my family in prayer. We still looking for the DA to issue charges in my son's case, and we're expecting it to come soon.
Is that John Legend? DJ?
Just have a safe and productive weekend, and just pray for everybody.
All right, Debo, you go. Carvin. Well, let me thank everybody. Hey, good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. Hope to see some of y'all tomorrow. Some of the brothers tomorrow at the barbershop. Well, good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Monday. Y'all have a safe weekend and go from this place in peace.